Hello and welcome to my creative space. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Welcome to another DIY video. If you're not already, I would love for you to subscribe and join this creative squad. In today's video, I have some Christmas DIYs I am so excited to share with you, so let's get started. For this project, I'm going to be using some jute twine. Now, ignore the nautical rope. We're not going to use it. I also picked up these two balls from the toy area at Dollar Tree. Most of this stuff is actually from Dollar Tree. This wooden plank as well from Dollar Tree, and then some white paint. And then you just need a skewer or a wooden dowel. I'm using this skewer. First thing I'm going to do is take my wooden plank and I'm going to paint this completely in white. You can definitely leave it as is or paint it a different color, or you can even stain it. The options are endless. Now I'm going to take the smallest ball and I'm going to take this skewer. These ones were picked up from Dollar Tree like a year ago, and they're really long and they're actually a lot more sturdy than the actual just regular skewers, the bamboo skewers. So this was perfect for this project, and these bowls are made out of like foam, so it's really easy for you to stick this wooden dowel or skewer through it. Now I start adding some hot glue, and then I just wrap around my jute twine. Now I decide to pull out the skewer because I don't want that to be stuck there yet. I just kind of stuck it in there to see exactly where it's going to go once we are done filling this bowl completely. Now, I will say I did struggle a little bit once I got to the middle, trying to get this twine around it. So I would suggest you do one half and then start over from the bottom up again until you get to the middle. It was definitely a lot more productive doing it like that. Another thing I wanted to mention is that you can use a styrofoam bowls. I didn't find any at my local Dollar Tree, and I did not have time to go running and looking for them. So these bowls were actually very handy, and then I feel like they will be a lot easier to work with because I feel like styrofoam melts with hot glue, but that is just my personal opinion. But anyways, here you have it. The first bowl is completely covered. Now I'm just going to take a lighter and kind of burn those little pieces that are sticking out, and that is all. Now I am going to take the second bowl, that is actually the bigger bowl, and I'm going to run the skewer right through it. Now once I do that, and as you can see, I kind of struggle a little bit. I created different holes. I was trying to find the middle in this ball. Then I'm taking some hot glue and some more jute rope, and I'm going to cover it up completely, and here you have it. Both of them are ready to go. Now the next step is to create a hat, because if you don't know this already, we are creating a super cute adorable snowman. So I create a circle that is going to be the top of our hat, and I'm using paper. I will be cutting these pieces on paper first, and then I'm going to use my fall leather from Dollar Tree, and then I'm gonna cut another strip of paper, and that is 3.5 inches long, and then we are going to cut that piece off as well as the circle. And then once we have that, I'm going to take my longer rectangle piece, and I'm going to mark 1/2 inch on that piece, and then we are going to trace another line, and then we are going to trim little pieces on there. This is so we can circle, or I guess fold it around, and to give our hat a shape. And then as you can see, I'm folding those pieces down because that is going to hold a piece of our hat later on. Now I did the same thing to the circle. As you can see, it's right there to the left, and then I take a bigger circle, which is this tape, and I trace a bigger circle on my faux leather. I didn't create like a template or anything for this one because I really don't need one. What I did is trace the same circle size in the middle and cut it all off. Now I have my pieces together. As you can see, I have the three parts that are going to be creating our hat. Now I am taking the longer rectangle and our circle that we cut earlier, and I'm going to start gluing them. The pieces that we folded are going to be useful for this part. As you can see, the circle has those pieces fold down. That is so we can glue that circle down to our hat and start shaping it. And then once that is glued, all we have to do after this is just put the faux leather right on top. As you can see, it's shaping you know, like a hat now. Then I decided to cut those pieces at the bottom a little bit skinnier, just so they can have more movement on there and be able to like open them up a lot more. And then I'm adding some hot glue around it, and then what we're gonna do is push that piece of faux leather that we cut earlier, that we created the circle in the middle, and push it down, and there you have it. Doesn't it look like a hat already? I think it does. Now I'm going to add the other piece right on there, and I'm going to hot glue it. I don't add glue all around it. I don't see the need for that when you can just add it to the back, the part that you're not going to see, and then you just glue those two pieces together and it's not going to go anywhere. Now all that's left is to glue the top. I did cut that circle a little bit smaller, but that's okay. I think it still looks adorable, and we're going to put that hat to the side. Now I'm taking this pack of styrofoam balls that are different colors, and I grabbed 2 of them and cut them in half. I'm taking 3 of those halves, and I'm going to use my chalk black paint to paint them completely, and we're going to let them dry. Now what I'm going to do while that dries is take my wooden plank that we painted white earlier, and I'm going to create a hole right in the middle using my drill. Now that that is there, we are going to add a little bit of hot glue, and then we are going to add our bigger bowl and the skewer right on there. Once that it's secured into place, we are taking the smaller ball and we are going to stick it right on there. And slowly but surely, our snowman is coming to life. Now I need to give my snowman some eyes and a smile. So I take the hat and kind of just place it there to see where I need to be doing my eyes. And I take the end of the brush, the actual handle part of it, and I start doing little dots on there with some black chalk paint. So I do the smile first, and I do the eyes and then the smile. And then I realize that the eyes and the smile are kind of the same size. So I'm going to be using a pencil, and I'm using the eraser portion to do eyes that are a little bit bigger, and I absolutely love it. Now I take another skewer, and these skewers are actually pointy. I take one end, and that is going to be the nose. I just painted orange, and we're gonna let it dry. Now I had this ribbon from Dollar Tree from last year. I cut a piece off. I really didn't like the green on there, so I take the portion that kind of has that neutral color on there, and that is going to be the scarf of our little snowman. And then I just trim the ends a little bit to give that little tassel looking part of it, and then I do it on both ends. And here is what our snowman is looking like. Now our buttons are dried, and I take some hot glue and start gluing them onto the bigger portion of it. And then our nose, our cute little nose, we are going to glue it on there as well. And how cute is this snowman already looking? Now all that's left is to glue our hat on top, and we are almost done. I use hot glue for that. Just make sure that what we glued on the back is on the back, so this hat looks flawless in the front. Now this is extra. I had these signs from Dollar Tree, and it says Happy Holidays, and I really wanted to use them, so I just add that to my little cute snowman, and that completes this project. And now let me show you how adorable and cute this snowman turned out. Creative Squad, today's video, it's actually a collab with Ellie, DIY from House to Home, and Liz from The Official Craft Nerd. I was reached out by Ellie from DIY from House to Home, and she invited me to participate in this Jute twine challenge, and I was so honored that she reached out to me and invited me to be part of this. I absolutely love me a challenge, so I was like, yes, I want to do it. I hope you enjoyed today's video, definitely finish watching my video and check out their links will be down below. I feel like you will find a lot of inspo in these channels. Ellie DIY from house to home, she actually has a lot of farmhouse DIYs. You should go check her out. And then the official Craftner, she actually has a lot of shabby chic ideas. I absolutely love these channels. Definitely will be watching their videos, so I can get some inspo. Definitely check out the links down below. Thank you so much for watching and your support. Now let's jump into the next DIY. For this project, I'm using some jute twine as well as some twinkle lights. I'm also going to be using this scrap of wood I had on hand. You can definitely grab these ones from Dollar Tree. You will need about 4 of them to create the size that I am using in this video, and then some black chalk paint. I'm starting with the wooden piece. Now, I will show you this, but I will be adding some paint on top of this, and we're going to have to repeat. So I'm going to be tracing a triangle on there to see exactly where I want my Christmas tree to lay. And then once I do that, I'm going to be taking some jute twine and I'm going to be creating a lot of tassels. I want to say I did like 32 tassels, maybe more than that, maybe like 36 tassels. And it's really easy and simple to do. I just wrapped it around my hand, and then once I had enough, or what was enough for me, I tie it with another piece, and then I just trim it at the end to make it all even. Then here we go again. I'm tying the second one and then cutting the ends, and then we are going to continue to do this until we have plenty to cover up this Christmas tree. Now, using my black chalk paint, I'm going to cover up this wooden piece. Now, you can definitely leave it as is, but I decided to make this wooden plank black because I feel like my Christmas tree will pop up a lot more. Now, once it's completely done, we're going to let it dry. Once it's dry, I'm going back again to trace my triangle on there, and I do the exact same thing I did on when I just showed you earlier. Now, I have all my tassels ready to go, so I start placing them. Now, I start with the first one right in the middle, and I do want this triangle to get covered with the tassel so I don't have to erase it or go with paint on top. So I am trying to cover it up with the tassels. Now, I use about 8 of them at the bottom, and then I work my way up, and you just start placing them where you think you need them. Now, after I am done gluing all of them, I do go back in there in the spaces that I feel like are too that need more. Then I create a few more to add them on there. That's why I don't know how many I end up doing. And I guess I could have counted them, but I didn't count them. So there's that. Now, here I am going back in there trying to add more tassels where I can still see the paint at the bottom. And then at the very top, I just leave 1 tassel, and that is all for now. Now, I have this wood stems from Dollar Tree. I pick one, and that's going to be the trunk of our tree. And how cute is that? Now, using my eraser on my pencil, I kind of trace the word Christmas, and somehow on this part I'm missing an R, and then later on I'm gonna miss a T, but then at the end I think I spelled it right. So I had this twine wired, and I use that to start shaping my letters. Now, once I had all of them, I kind of placed them on there, and then before I glue anything down, as you can see, now I was missing an R earlier. Now I'm missing a T. But we'll figure it out. Don't worry. The good thing is that I realized that before I finished gluing everything down. So now I'm using hot glue to glue these down. And then I'm like, oh, here, I'm missing a T. So there we have it. I realized that before it was too late. And then I'm finishing up gluing all my letters into place. Now that everything is glued down, or we're finishing up our T, we're going to add a little dot to our eye, and that is all for this part. Now, I almost forgot about my twinkle lights, so I have to go back in there with my drill and drill a hole to the back of this tree to be able to run the lights. Now, when I was doing that, I actually pulled one of the tassels out, so I had to re-glue it, but that's okay. We are going to get this through it. So if you want to add twinkle lights to your Christmas tree, then definitely do it before you do any of the tassel gluing, because you can still do it anyway, but definitely I feel like it's a little bit of extra unneeded work. Now, as you can see, I'm running the lights under the tassels just to kind of hide the wire piece on there, and then at the top you can still kind of see it, but that's okay. We are going to pull that tassel out here in a little bit to hide that piece that was still showing. And then we're going to finish running this wire piece down, and then just keep lifting those tassels until you are done with this wire piece. And then here I am pulling the tassel at the very top, and then kind of pulling in the wire so you no longer can see it. Now that that is done, all that's left is to glue our box to the back. I still need to add some lights, but that is all for this project. And now let's take a look at the end result. For this project, I'm using some jute twine, this styrofoam cone from Dollar Tree, as well as a wooden stem and some little cute pine cones. I'm going to start with the twine and the the styrofoam cone, and I'm going to be gluing some jute twine. Now, I tried different ways to do this just to try to see what was most efficient, and I decided to glue the stem to the bottom of the tree and then go in with some twine. Definitely, you don't need to do it like this. You could just start by wrapping around from the top to the bottom. I was not sure what I wanted to do, so I kind of struggled here for a little bit, but then I'm like, well, it's going to be more efficient to start from the top. So that's what I end up doing. So I cover the top, and then you just wrap around the cone. You don't need to be gluing every single piece. You can just glue the top, secure it, and then just wrap it around until you get to the bottom. That's what I end up doing with mine, and it's staying put in place. Now, once you get to the bottom, you do want to secure it because you don't want that to unravel or get undone. Now we need to finish up covering the bottom of this cone. So I start around the stem, and then I just work my way out. And then you do want to use hot glue here because you don't want this to again fall off. Now I decide to go around my cone, but this time like wider pieces. I don't cover up everything like we did the first time. It just I was just trying to give some texture to my tree, so I added that extra layer of it. Now here is what my Christmas or soon to be Christmas tree looks like. I decided to add these really cute pine cones to my tree because they are frosted and they have a little bit of glitter, so I decided to add them as a touch. You could leave them as they are, or you could even add some paint, make it look like they actually have snow on them. You know, the options are definitely endless. I decided to go with little pine cones, and I think it's super cute. Now, I decided I want my tree to sit onto something like a base. So I had this box laying around, and I decided to paint this box white. I want this to look like it's actually snow, or like my tree is sitting on like snow. So that's why I decided to go with this. Here is my box. Now I'm taking the little Christmas tree and I'm going to place it right in the middle. And so far I am loving it. Now I wanted to add a star to the top, but this star, I was not loving it. So we will switch it here in a little bit. What I'm going to do now is take these 4 styrofoam snowflakes. They are white and they have a little bit of shine to them. I thought that they were great to use for this box, so I glue one on each side of the box, and I absolutely love the touch that they give. Now, as you already know, I don't like this star, so I decided to go with this cute little bow that I have pulled from a sign a while ago. And that is all for this project. It was super easy and yet turned out so cute. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I would love to know your thoughts in the comments down below. Do not forget to check out Ellie's and Alyssa's channels for lots of inspo. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you on my next DIY. Bye!